Hi guys, it's Hazel here at The Right Coffee Girl, and this week I'm going to be talking to you about how to use content marketing to start your own business when you have no experience. I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who was suffering a real low point after a lot of work-related stress, and she was really struggling with the whole 9-to-5 thing. She was really looking for a way to kind of break free of it all and find a healthier work-life balance. And she was actually coming to me to ask me about how I ended up starting my business, and whether or not I enjoyed it, and whether or not it had actually given me that freedom that she was looking for. And I told her that yes, absolutely, I'd started my business for very similar reasons, and since starting my own business I found it much easier to manage the stress. I found life is a lot freer, a lot more enjoyable, because I spend all my time doing something that I absolutely love, and I'm in total control. So I work when I want, I can work where I want, and really it's just been an extremely rewarding and wonderful experience. That being said, it has been a lot of hard work. I said this to her, and she responded by saying, oh well, it's not something that I'm really thinking of doing now, but I want to do it in the future, but I suppose I'm going to have to wait for 10 years or so until I've got enough experience to do it. So I was quite confused by this response, and asked her why she felt that she needed to wait a decade before starting her own business. So she wants to start a graphic design business, working on branding and helping people develop really unique brands. And she's currently working in a job in that field and gaining experience, but she is very much of the opinion that before she can start her own business she needs to stay in a 9-to-5 job, working in that field for a good decade before she can legitimately start her own business and say, yes, this is me. This is my business. She genuinely didn't think that it was possible to start a business unless you had a lot of experience in the field. And my question to her was, when exactly did I spend a decade working in a 9-to-5 job as a freelance writer before I set up a business becoming a freelance writer? And it confused her for a minute until she realised that you can't be a freelance writer until you are a freelance writer. So you know, you could work as a writer, you know, in various roles in 9-to-5 jobs and, you know, in the corporate world, but you couldn't work as a freelance writer without always being a freelance writer. So my point was, it is physically impossible to say at the start of a freelance business that you have X years experience working as a freelancer. When I started my business, I was just coming to the end of my scholarship for my PhD, and my entire career up to that point had been in archaeology. I'd gone to university, I'd done an undergraduate degree, a master's degree, I'd spent 2 years working in corporate archaeology, I'd dug all over, you know, the country, I'd dug in Europe, and then I'd gone back to uni to study for my PhD, and throughout my postgraduate studies I'd taught at university. So there was nothing in my background that said writer at all, okay? My official experience was as a teacher and as a student. So in that sense, when I started my writing business, my experience was non-existent. I had no official experience as a writer, but I had been writing in various capacities, you know, at a high level for years. You know, I mean, just going to university, you learn how to write to a high standard, and I'd had papers published, and you know, I'd been writing fiction. I'd had fiction published, so I had been writing for a very long time, but I had no official experience. And in a similar way, a lot of people, when they start their businesses, or when they're thinking that they want to start a business and that they can't because they don't have any official experience, if you actually stop and think about the experience that you do have, you will usually find that because the thing you want to start your business in is likely something you are passionate about, something that you love, your background will actually reflect it in one way or another, even if it's not in an obvious way. So my friend's background is in anthropology, and my point to her was the study of anthropology is the study of people, and branding is all about people, and understanding how people think and what people want and what people will like, and crafting individual brands that are unique to a specific person but will also appeal to a wider group of people. So she actually understands the theoretical side of things and the mechanics behind how brands work extremely well, because she spent so long learning about people and what makes them tick. And there are various other elements to her background that actually inform her new purpose, the career path that she now wants to take, the business that she wants to start in. She just wasn't looking at it from the perspective of how is my experience relevant to what I want to do. She was looking at it from the point of view of I have no experience. But we can't live our lives, we can't move through life, we can't age and grow without gaining experience. We all have experience in something. So even if you've only ever worked a part-time job, or you've worked a job that you consider to be a dead-end job, a horrible job, an office job, you've been a cubicle monkey, you've been a checkout clerk, you've done all these jobs that you've felt were lacking in meaning and lacking in anything really tangible in terms of your experience, that they didn't actually give you anything that you could use to start a business. It's insane that people think that their experiences are meaningless, because nothing in life is meaningless. All of our experiences have meaning, and everything that you have done in your life, everything that you have seen, everything that you have felt and thought, every single thing has led you to the point you are at now, and something along the way drove you to want to start your business in your specific field, your specific niche, doing one particular thing. And you would never have got to that point, you would never have reached the stage of thinking, yes, I want to start a business doing that, if your experiences hadn't driven you to it. So no matter what your official experience might be, you do have experience in your field, you just don't know it yet. But starting a business when you're not able to say, I have 10 years experience working as a professional writer, I have 10 years experience working as a professional branding expert, I have 20 years experience working as a marketing specialist. If you can't say that, it can be difficult for you to find a way to establish your business and establish yourself as a person who is trustworthy and knowledgeable in your field. Because those are really, really quick, easy ways of establishing that you know what you're talking about. It's one line in a mini bio that immediately tells people that you know your stuff. But the thing is, people are not convinced by a line in a bio. They are convinced by what you say and what you do and the presence you have as a business person. And that's where content marketing comes in. Whether you are a well-established business, a fledgling business, or a person who has zero official experience, content marketing is an awesome way of marketing yourself and your business. It immediately helps you establish yourself as an expert in your chosen field. It allows you to demonstrate by providing informative, interesting, funny, or just plain invaluable content that you know what you're talking about. And if you are giving people things that are of value to them, that will convince them that you are worth investing in. That will convince them that you know what you're talking about. That will convince them that you are capable of doing what you're claiming to be capable of doing, far more than a line in a bio that says that you spent 10 years working somewhere or other, doing some role or other. Dexter! So how exactly do you use content marketing to start your own business? It's actually a lot easier than you might think, but there are several key things that you have to do. The first thing that I really suggest you do is to niche down as much as possible. Really define your niche. And this is a mistake that I made when I was first starting out in business, was that I wasn't clear enough on exactly what I was doing. I started out happily doing editing, proofreading, writing, illustrations, helping people with their books, design elements. I did so many different things because these were all things that I enjoyed doing. They were all things that were related to each other because they were to do with writing and to do with books. And I loved doing them, and I was capable of doing all of them. The result, unfortunately, was that nobody really knew what I did. My business message was all over the place because I was talking about so many different subjects, so many different things. When I niched down and really focused on the one thing that I wanted to do more than anything else, which was write, things started falling into place really quickly. And when I niched it down even further than that and said that the one thing that I really wanted to do was help other business owners like me write their content and push their businesses forward using that content, suddenly everything fell into place and my business started really moving forward very quickly. So the first thing you need to do is find your niche. And one thing I will say is, when you think you've niched down, take a while to think about it and come back to it and look at it again, because I almost guarantee you that you will not have actually found a niche. You will have found a broad subject area like writing and thought, yes, that's my niche. And when you actually stop and think about it, you realise that it's not really a niche. There's lots and lots of different things within that niche that you've chosen, and you need to niche it down even further. So get really specific on exactly what you're going to be doing. The next thing you need to do is figure out exactly who you want to work with. Now, I know a lot of entrepreneurs when they're first starting out, and certainly when I was first starting out, make the mistake of saying, I'll work with everybody. I'll work with anybody. I don't mind who I work with, I just want clients. And I can understand that impulse, especially when you're first starting out and you really just need to get the money coming in. You are quite happy to take on any work with any people, anytime, anyhow, anywhere, just to get the money coming in. But if you can be really specific about the exact type of person that you want to ideally work with, and you target all of your content to that particular person so that it is most appealing to them, you will find that as you grow your audience is naturally made up of the people that you most want to work with in an overwhelming majority. So rather than writing content that's aimed at just anybody and ending up with an audience that's made up of anybody and everybody, you end up with an audience that's predominantly made up of the people that you really want to work with, who are going to be most interested in what you have, who are going to find the most value in what you have, and who are most likely to actually buy from you. So for example, my niche is writing content for entrepreneurs, and I could have simply left it at that and said, I'll write for any entrepreneur. Any entrepreneur in small business, I don't mind writing for you. And to some extent that is true. I do take on clients from all walks of life, but the majority of my clients are female entrepreneurs who are a lot like me. They're a similar age to me, so they're in their 20s or 30s. They are building a business based on something that they are truly passionate about, and they're looking to use content marketing as the heart of their marketing strategy to ensure that they are always selling in a soulful manner. They are my ideal clients, and your ideal client might be very different, but if you can niche down to a very specific audience for your very specific niche, then your content ends up being targeted at not only a particular industry and a particular sector of that industry, but a particular group of people who are interested in that particular sector of that particular industry. And you get very targeted. And the more targeted you get, the more obvious it is that you know exactly what you're doing, who you're doing it for, and how you can help those specific people. So imagine if you're trying to explain to somebody how you can help them, but you're not talking to an actual person, you're writing a blog post or you're recording a video like this one, and you're trying to explain exactly what you can do for them, except you have no idea who they are. They could be anybody. You end up saying a message that is very generic. It has to be generic because it has to appeal to everybody. But if your message is directed at a very specific person, then you can get really detailed in exactly what it is that you're going to be able to do to help that person, exactly how your product or service can fix the problems in their lives, can make their lives better, can help them in their business, in their personal lives, in anything, whatever it is you do. You can get really, really specific. And the more specific you get in your marketing messages, the more effective your marketing will be. So not only does content marketing allow you to target a really specific audience in a really specific niche and deliver a really specific message, all of that specificity demonstrates your knowledge, your expertise, your experience. It proves that you are the person who is most capable of helping that group of people in that particular niche do that one specific thing. Content marketing is a way for you to demonstrate your experience in a tangible way that people can actually see. They can hear it, they can read it. You can provide them with really, really solid evidence of your experience and of your ability to do what you're promising to do. And that is something that a bio can never do. Even the most perfectly crafted author bio cannot prove your worth like content marketing can. So if you're worried that you don't have anything to put in your bio to prove your expertise, if you don't have any official experience to add to your tagline and say, yes, I've been working in such and such for 10 years, or this for 10 years, or that for 20 years, or I've spent 50 years down a mine and I know everything there is to know about mining. You don't need to have that. All you need to do is put together a really, really solid content marketing plan that proves your value, your worth and your knowledge. The more effectively you can do this, the easier you will find it to build your business. It may seem like a contradiction to offer free content to people. You may be thinking, well, I'm running a business, not a charity, why am I giving this stuff away? But the thing with creating valuable free content is that you create a place that people naturally want to be. You create a space that your ideal clients will naturally gravitate towards. People will learn that you are the person to come to for this specific advice or methods or amusement or entertainment or whatever it is you're offering. They'll learn that you're where it's at, and they will come to you and they will spread the word and more people will come to you and you will naturally grow a brilliant audience. And once you have that audience in place, once you have a core audience of ideal clients who are in love with your free content, they will naturally ask for more. They will be saying, wow, if your free stuff is this good, how good must your paid services be? How good must your paid products be? I want more of this amazing stuff that you've been giving me, and I'm quite happy to pay for it because you've given me so much value for free. I know that you're worth it. I know that you can do it. Here, take my money. Now, that's a simplified version of it. It takes an awful lot of work, and I'm not going to say that it doesn't. This isn't an easy or a quick fix, but it is a very, very effective way of doing it. So if you want to start a business, if you're looking to set up your own business doing something that you love and you're holding yourself back because you believe that you are lacking the experience required to do it, don't worry. Your experience that you have in your life will feed into what you are doing in some way, because your experience is what led you to where you are, and where you are is at a point where you want to start this business. If you've enjoyed this video, do please like it and share it, and don't forget to click the button and subscribe for more awesome videos. And if you are interested in finding out more about content marketing, do please check out my other videos on it. I have loads of juicy information for you. I'll see you really soon. Bye.